Hi, this is GCSE 9-1 Crammers. It's never too late to start revising, and this way you can do it anywhere. Listen to these questions as many times as you need until the answers pop into your head. Today we're revising Quantitative Chemistry, topic 3a.1, Amounts of Substances, covering finding the relative atomic mass and calculating relative formula mass. In the exams, they might just give you the atomic relative mass number for each element in the question, but if they don't, you need to know where to find it. What is the relative atomic mass of an element? The relative atomic mass is the average mass of an element. It is the mass number which is found on the periodic table above the element. The symbol for relative atomic mass is AR. So, if you were asked, what is the relative atomic mass of chlorine? The answer would be the AR equals 35.5. What is the AR of sodium? The answer would be the AR equals 23. What is the AR of potassium? The answer would be the AR equals 39. Relative formula mass. Calculating the relative formula mass of a compound. What is a compound? A compound is made up of different elements, and each of those elements have a relative atomic mass, or AR. The symbol used for relative formula mass is MR. So how do you calculate the relative formula mass of a compound? You add together the relative atomic mass of each element in the compound, the AR of each element. The formula for finding the relative formula mass looks like this: MR equals AR plus AR, etc., depending on how many elements make up the compound. Accounting for all the atoms in a compound. To find relative formula mass of a compound, just add together all the relative atomic masses, or AR, of all the atoms in that compound. Let's just take a quick look at how a compound is made up. Take CO2, carbon dioxide. What do the little numbers in a compound tell us? Little numbers tell us how many atoms of that element are in a compound. This means in CO2 there is 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. Look on the periodic table to find the mass number, or AR. Each oxygen atom is 16 and each carbon atom is 12. To find the relative formula mass, add them together to give you a relative formula mass of 44. The other way of writing the sum out when you have more than 1 atom of the same element would be to have 2 times 16 in brackets. Tackling a relative formula mass question. Question 1. Calculate the relative formula mass, MR, of hydrochloric acid, HCl. Hydrochloric acid, HCl, is made up of 2 elements, 1 hydrogen atom and 1 chlorine atom. The question has not given the relative atomic mass numbers, so look on the periodic table for them. The AR of hydrogen equals 1. Then chlorine. To find the relative atomic mass, the AR of chlorine is 35.5. Now you can work out the relative formula mass, MR, of hydrochloric acid equals 1 plus 35.5, which equals 36.5. Tackling a relative formula mass question, question 2. What is the relative formula mass of magnesium chloride, or MgCl2? MgCl2 is made up of 1 magnesium atom and 2 chlorine atoms. Look on the periodic table for the relative atomic mass of magnesium. AR of magnesium is 24. Do the same to find the relative atomic mass of chlorine, and the AR of each chlorine atom is 35.5. Remember to add in the mass of each atom of an element in the compound. Now you can work out the relative formula mass of magnesium chloride, which equals 24 plus 2 times 35.5. Do the maths, and this equals 95. so the relative formula mass of magnesium chloride is 95. Tackling a relative formula mass question, question 3. Calculate the relative mass, MR, of aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 3. Relative atomic masses, AR, oxygen equals 16, aluminium equals 27, sulfur equals 32. Note, in this question you're given the relative atomic masses of all the elements. Looking at the molecular formula for aluminium sulfate, take note of how many atoms there are of each element. 2 aluminium atoms, which have a relative atomic mass of 2 times 27, plus 3 lots of everything in the brackets, which is 1 sulfur atom, which has a relative atomic mass of 32, and lastly 4 oxygen atoms, which have a relative atomic mass of 4 times 16. Do the maths. 2 times 27 equals 54, plus open brackets 3 times 32, plus 3 open brackets 4 times 16. The AR of aluminium equals 54, plus AR of sulfur 3 times 32 equals 96. Work out how much oxygen. 4 times 16 equals 64 times 3 equals 192, plus AR of oxygen equals 192. You can now work out the relative formula mass by adding together 54 plus 96 plus 192, which equals a relative formula mass of 342. This is GCSE 9-1 Crammers, and if you like this video, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon down below to notify you of new videos coming soon on more GCSE chemistry topics, and click that like button. In this video you've learnt all about how to find the relative atomic mass of an element and the relative formula mass of a compound. Take time to really learn this topic because you will get a question on it in the exams. The key to exam success is learning consolidation and keeping this topic fresh in your mind. How do you do that? Repetition, repetition, repetition. If you go over the facts enough times, you will be able to answer any questions on this topic confidently in any exam.